live, but for this segment we actually are live on YouTube and Facebook, so you can hop on and you can join us, watch us, and follow and send through any questions, because we're talking about another very relevant topic. Yesterday we heard Uncle Mike, security specialist, all around safety with regards to our kids with online, being online basically via the phones, apps, platforms, so forth, things like that, and the rest. So today another big question is, how do we know when our child is actually ready to have a smartphone? So joining us for this very important topic, joining us on our screens and the airwaves of Razia Al-Ansar International, we welcome back Mulana Bilal Katrada to Urban Women. Assalamu alaikum, Mulana. Marhaba, welcome, and good to have you back. Alhamdulillah. Okay, I'm having a little bit of a struggle hearing you clearly. There's a bit of an echo coming through. Let's get the tech to just sort that out. Okay, fine. So we're talking about a big question here, Malana. I mean, we know that in this day and age and in this time, tech is everywhere. From our online classes, obviously just social media, games, messaging apps, and so forth. And it can be difficult to decide when is our child ready, when is the right time to actually hand over the first device. And some say apparently it's a matter of age, but we'd love to hear from you. If we could ask you that big question, how does a parent know if their child is truly ready for a smartphone?
Well, I don't think it's a matter of age. I think it's a matter of responsibility, because as long as smartphones are being used and tablet PCs by extension, as long as they can used responsibly, then that's fine.
Malana, I'm going to have to stop you. I'm not hearing you very clearly. There's kind of like, it sounds like you're a bit distant and a little bit of an echo. So for our viewers watching us on Facebook and YouTube, they may be able to follow, but on the FM lines. No, unfortunately. Unfortunately not. Alrighty, what are we going to do? Let's go for a quick break and try and connect with you so that we can, inshallah, get that clarity and hear you much more clear. We'll call you back in a bit. Do stay tuned for this important topic, my wonderful listeners.
رسول الإمام بنور الصفا مرتب رسول مصطفى ظنك نش إمام لوغ الاتباع
Urban Woman with Razia Rangrage is brought to you by Checkers Foods, Cowie Park, halal certified by the NIHT, National Independent Halal Trust across the butchery, bakery and deli.
Come get our butcher's best fillets at Checkers Foods Cowie Park. Enjoy certified halal butchery products like lamb packs, just $119.99 per kg. Beef oxtail, just $98.99 per kilo. Chicken mince for just $69.99 per kilo. Deals valid until Sunday, July 13th. Only at Checkers Foods Cowie Park. Now certified by the NIHT, the National Independent Halal Trust, across our butchery, bakery and deli.
This hadith is sponsored by Ashraful Aid, International Humanitarian Organization.
حديث أدي قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الصلاة عماد الدين. Salah is a pillar of deen. Salah is the most important form of ibadah. When we perform our salah, we are showing our obedience to our Creator. Salah is the key to Jannah.
This hadith is sponsored by Ashraful Aid, International Humanitarian Organization.
Are you looking for a meaningful way to fulfill your zakat obligation? Look no further than Ashraful Aid. With our trusted track record, your zakat reaches those who need it the most in the most honorable and dignified manner. Visit our website at www.ashrafulaid.org.
Get ready to unleash your creativity. Join us for a fun-filled morning of art, laughter, and inspiration at our Sip and Paint event, Saturday, the 19th of July, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 207 West Road Conference Hall. A creative morning of painting and self-expression. Inspiring words from our guest speakers, Nadira Chipa, Chafinas Hassam, and Zinat Ayub. Delicious lunch to be served. Don't miss out. Mark your calendars for July 19 and get ready to unleash your inner artist.
Urban Woman, sponsored by Checkers Foods Cowie Park, halal certified by the NIHT, National Independent Halal Trust across the butchery, bakery and deli.
صلاة سلام على المصطفى رسول إمام بنور الصفا صلاة سلام على المصطفى رسول إمام بنور الصفا حبيب الإله أنار الحياة وقلبي يراه كمثل القمر بمدح الرسول يزيد الأمل ويأتي القبول بخير العمل صلاة سلام على المصطفى رسول إمام بنور الصفا مرتبي رسول أحمد مصطفى وبصلك نشئ مملوء اتباع نبي.
That's what we call technical glitches. Anyways, we're back on Urban Woman with me, Razia Rangrage, and joining us on the airwaves and on our screens, Maulana Bilal Khatrada, chatting with us about an important topic. So if you're wondering, basically, if you're wondering, what age do I actually give my child a smartphone? Now, I'm actually thinking, why even be wondering? Because sometimes I see it's almost like children are born with the phones in their hand. Assalamu alaikum, Maulana, and welcome back to Urban Woman.
Walaikum salam. It's always a pleasure to be here, Razia.
That's so much better. Alhamdulillah. Okay, but our time is a bit short. We got about 6 minutes. And we were asking that important question, and that is, how do we know if our child is ready? And as I asked this, I'm just thinking to myself, well, most children are just given the phone from I don't even know what age and how young they are. So share with us your thoughts.
So I don't think that the age has anything to do with whether a child should get a device or not. In fact, I often joke. I say that there are a lot of adults who shouldn't even be getting cell phones. It's more about how we learn to use it responsibly. Look, these devices are extremely powerful, right? They are powerful learning potentially. They are also tools for connecting with people, but they're also tools for entertainment and wasting time and possibly even doing some haram activities. How we use it is very, very crucial in deciding whether a person should have it or not, particularly a child. If we teach them from the youngest age how to use a cell phone or a tablet or AI or social media for learning, for growth, rather than just wasting time, then I think it's great to teach them from a very young age and to give them little.
And there we go. I'm sure again. Okay, so today I think network is just troubling us a little bit, but it's fine. We'll navigate through that. All about smartphones, technologies. It's like trying to tell us, don't mess with me. I'm here to stay. Absolutely. You are absolutely right. And I do say that I think kids nowadays, it's part of their DNA, born into knowing how to use a smartphone, that they're so tech savvy. We have to still learn it because it's not part of ours. What kind of boundaries or rules should parents actually put in place when they give their child a phone? Because you did say, it's teaching them the right things. And sometimes I think because, as I said yesterday, we as parents get so busy and so distracted with our work and our lives that it's almost like they're occupied. What do we do? From your side as Maulana Bilal.
I think it's a bit of lazy thinking to use the cell phone as a substitute for parenting, right? I know I sound harsh, but I see a lot of parents doing that. When I go to restaurants, I see mom and dad are sitting there talking and they give the device to the 6-year-old kid or a 5-year-old kid, and she's doing her own thing. I think that's a bit lazy. I think we need to go back and look at how our parents and our grandparents did it, right? Firstly, they taught kids to be independent. And I'll give you an example. I was recently staying at a holiday flat, and I noticed there was a family living in another flat on the same complex. And there were two little kids. There must have been one girl that's 6 and another one that's 7. And I promise you, Razia, the entire day these kids were playing outside. Whenever I stepped out, they were there. They were playing with plants. They were playing on the swing. They were making little toys out of sticks. They were nagging their parents. And I was admiring the independence of these children here. The only time they disappeared was during meal times. They went, they ate, and they were back out there again. I think what we need is to make our children more independent so that they can entertain themselves. They can pass their time without mommy having to be there, without daddy having to be there, and without devices. If we can achieve that, then it's a big win.
That's kind of like old school, isn't it? Back in the days, that's how we would play. Go out, have fun, and of course, it helps to develop so many things like our gross motor skills, things like that. And nowadays, we're seeing children suffering in so many different aspects, and I think it then helps to create more jobs for speech therapists and all of these kind of, occupational health therapists, all of these things, because I think the gross motor skills and the things that we would normally do in order to create this or reach certain milestones is kind of being eliminated now, as you say, because this is the lazy way. Before it was the TV, that was the nanny, but again, it is the lazy way. As we wrap up, Malana, what is your final message for our listeners this morning?
My final and important message is teach kids to be independent. Teach them that there is so much more they can do other than with devices. Get them involved in art. Get them involved in sports. Get them involved in crafts and activities, in reading, and teach them to be independent and not, be always mommy, daddy all the time. We'll be bringing up proper, strong adults in that way.
Absolutely, inshallah. And I put a disclaimer here, no offense to anybody. Each one, obviously, the challenges with your child. When I said, use the example of the occupational therapist, speech therapist, please, no offense to anybody, please, just as an example, meaning that I think in the broader scheme of things with regards to allowing our children to reach their milestones and to develop, I think our times are such that they are being deprived, and it's nobody's fault whatsoever. So I just want to put that out there. Malana, it's been wonderful chatting with you. Yesterday, we had Uncle Mike that came on, who is a security specialist, and today we're having you, and I think it's a wonderful blend getting input from both of you. So we thank you for your time this morning. Inshallah, next time we'll have better luck on the technical side, but until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
That was Malana Bilal Katrada joining us on the Urban Woman this morning, talking about the age. And as he said, it's not really about the age, but it's all about boundaries. At the end of the day, everything we do needs to obviously be used with the right sense of consciousness. Time for the 11 a.m. news. I'll be back with you after. Stay tuned.